when you hit shift enter, you will see that we have a nice plot, right, which is telling us that what was the price and in which year. So now when we hit shift enter, you will see that we have a real data from the Yahoo Finance. So this is how you can plot. So for that, what you will do, you will write color is equals to green, and when you hit shift enter, you will see that the line for the open prices is now green. But if you write here plots.legend, you will see that you have a legend here. So it will show you that for the open it is the blue line, and for the high it is the red line. Hello friends, welcome back to day 33 of the 100 days of hell with Python algo trading. Today we will be starting with the Matplotlib, which is an important library for the visualization. Right, so we have multiple libraries to visualize in Python, but for now we'll be covering only Matplotlib, and if required in the future, we will cover the rest of the libraries like the Seaborn, Plotly, and also this will be the last library before we start the core algo trading. And actually I was in confusion that whether I should start the time series or the Matplotlib. Then I came to conclusion that let me first cover the Matplotlib, and once it is covered, then we are only left with the algo trading concepts like the time series and rest of the things, right? So after that we'll be done with the Python and the Python libraries, and like we have covered most of the things for now, and I think we are good to start the algo trading. You can also let me know in the comments that if you want any library to cover before we start the algo trading, the core algo trading concepts. So we will be covering the Matplotlib in the two sessions. In the first session, we'll cover the basic charts like the 2D line plot, the scatter plot, the bar plots, the pie chart, and the histogram. And in the next session, we'll cover the advanced plots. So without a further ado, let's get started. So the first plot is the line plot. So first we will cover all the theoretical part, and then we'll proceed with the coding part as usual, right? So definition: a line plot is a type of chart which displays information as a series of data points connected by straight line segments. It is particularly useful for visualizing data changes over time. So we can say the line plot can display the information as a series of data points connected by a straight line segments. Where and why to use the line plots? So we can use the line plots for the trend analysis. We can use the line plots for performance tracking. And let me tell you something first, that generally what happens when we are dealing with the plots, we get confused that which kind of plot I should be using for which kind of data. So in order to resolve that confusion, I have divided all the type of plots in different kind of categories. So you can easily identify that where should we use which kind of plot, right? So generally we have two types of data. The one is numerical and another is categorical, right? So the line plot can be used for numerical data, particularly time series data. So right after this Matplot library, we'll start with the time series, in which we will understand the time series analysis and the time series forecasting. Line plot can be used for the numerical data, and also we have three types of analysis. The first is univariate, the second is bivariate, and the third is multivariate. So univariate means when we are trying to observe or find the trend or the changes between a single variable, or we can say a single column in a data frame. Bivariate means when you are trying to observe the changes or the trend between two variables, or we can say two columns in a data frame. And multivariate means when we are trying to observe a trend or a change in multiple columns, or we can say multiple variables, right? So that is the basic information. So now what we will do, we'll divide all the 5 plots, and we will understand that which kind of plot should be used in which kind of data and which kind of analysis. Right? So this line plot can be used on numerical data, and also it can be used on univariate analysis and the multivariate analysis, right? Next, let's understand few examples. So line plot can be used to plot stock price movements over a month, which is here, right? You can see here that it is starting from the 1st of June to 1st of July, and these are all the points, and these all points are connected with the line. So that's why we call it as a line plot. Correct? And here is the daily closing price for the month of June 23. And it can be also used to track the price or volume of stocks over time, This helps in trend analysis and moving average based strategy development. I hope it's clear. The line plot is very straightforward, very easy. Next we have is the scatter plot. So a scatter plot uses dots to represent values obtained for two different variables, one plotted along the x-axis and the other plotted along the y-axis, right? So we can say the line plot uses the lines and the scatter plot uses the dots, right? Where and why we should be using the scatter plot. We can use the scatter plot for the correlation analysis. It is useful for spotting correlation between two variables such as price and volume or returns on two assets. It can be used for outlier detection. It can help in identifying outliers or anomalies in financial data. Now, on which kind of data we can use the scatter plot? So straightforward, we can only use the scatter plot on numerical type of data. We cannot use this on categorical data, right? Now, the type of analysis. So we can use this for the bivariate analysis and for the multivariate analysis, right? Primarily used to find relationships or correlation between two numerical values. Each axis represents one variable, allowing for observation of pattern or clusters. Next, multivariate analysis. It can be extended to multivariate by using color, shape, and size of dots to represent additional variables. Here is example, visualizing the correlation between returns of two stocks. You can see here stock A and stock B, and these are all the dots, right? It is ideal for exploring the relationship between the stock price movements of two companies to identify potential pairs trading opportunities. We will be using this a lot in the machine learning part, but now you get the idea, right? The bar plot. A bar plot or a bar chart represents data with rectangular bars with lengths proportional to the values that they represent. Where and why to use? So, in line plot, we connect the dots with the lines. In scatter plot, we have the dots, and in the bar plot, we have the rectangular bars, right? And the length is proportional to the values that they represent. We can use bar plot for the comparative analysis. We can use bar plot for the quantitative metrics, right? Now, on which type of data we can use the bar plots? So we can use on the categorical and numerical data. Categorical data labels each bar, and numerical data determines the bar's height or length. And also we can perform both the univariate and bivariate analysis on this. So let me show you. You can see here we are comparing the monthly trading volumes. This is the months from Jan to April, and this is the trading volume in thousands. And also we can use it to compare the performance of different assets or to show the frequency of trades by category. Example, long versus short positions. We will be also using this a lot in the upcoming videos. Pie chart. A pie chart is a circular statistical graphic which is divided into slices to illustrate numerical proportion. Right? You can see here, this is the pie chart. Where and why to use? We can use the pie chart for the portfolio composition. We can use the pie chart for the simplistic representation, and also we can use the pie chart on the categorical data where each category represents a part of a whole. And also the type of analysis, we can use it for the univariate analysis, right? So let's look at some examples. So you can see here it is the composition of a trading portfolio in which the stocks is 50%, the futures, the options, the bonds, right? So generally it is used on a single column of a pie chart. Now the last one for today's session is the histogram. I'm sure that you have seen histogram a lot of times if you trade, right? So let me show you what it is. So a histogram is a type of bar plot that represents the distribution of numerical data by dividing the data into bins or intervals. It helps to give an idea of where values are concentrated, variation, and outliers. So what it does, it helps to represents the distribution of data by dividing the data into bins or intervals, right? So where and why to use the histogram? So we can use histogram for the distribution analysis, right? And we can also use it for the outlier detection, right? Which we will learn in the future. We can also use histogram for the volatility measurement, and the type of data on which we can use the histogram is the only numerical data. The pie chart is only for the categorical data, while the histogram is only for the numerical data, right? And the type of analysis we can perform is the only univariate analysis. Now let's see some examples. So it is quite useful to analyze the distribution of daily returns of a stock to understand its volatility and risk profile. You can see here, this is the daily returns and this is the frequency. It has divided the data into bins. You can see here the bins, and then we can easily have an idea of the frequency of the data. So this was the theoretical part, and now let's understand some coding examples, right? Okay, so first of all, we have to import the library. So for that, what you will do, you will first import the pandas as usual. Import, along with panda, always import the numpy as np. And for the matplotlib, you have the library import matplotlib, right? So here we are importing on the pyplot for now as plt, right? So when you shift enter, it says no module name because it is pandas. So yeah, we have seen that the line plot is for the bivariate analysis, right? It can be used on categorical and numerical. So basically it is used for the time series data. So let me show you something simple. So what we will do, let's say we have a list of prices. So prices from, let's say, 2000, 3000, 4000, 5000. Okay, again we have years. So for that, let's say from 2020 to 2021, 2022, 2023, 24, from 2020 to 2024, right? Now let me plot this simple chart. So plt dot plot, and first you have to pass the time on the x-axis, right? So it is year, and on the y you have the prices, right? So when you hit shift enter, you will get a simple straight line, right? Because we have given the straight line. So let's say if you change it something, let's say from 5 to, again it came to 1000, and back to 3000, back to 2500, back to 6000, and again drop to 4000, correct? And you can give here again the time. So 2024 up to 5, 6, 7, 8. Let me change the values. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Yeah. Okay, actually we need to add another year here, and when you hit shift enter, you will see that we have a nice plot, right? A beautiful plot which is telling us that what was the price and in which year. So on X we have the time, and on the Y we have the prices, right? And here on the screen you can see some text or numbers. So for that, what you can do, you can simply write plot plt dot show, and it will be gone. You can see that it is gone. Actually, when you are writing this code on like PyCharm or any other code editor, you have to use the plt.show. Otherwise, it will not plot, right? So in the Jupyter environment, it is okay to run the code without the plt.show. But if you are running this code on any other IDE, you have to use the plt.show, right? Okay, now let's understand the line plot on a real world dataset. So what we'll do, we'll import some CSV here from our previous sessions. So I'll just go and let's check where we have a CSV. So I guess on like day 32 we had. So let me copy and paste this here and check whether it works or not. The name of CSV is constituents financial CSV. So I'll just go here and import the CSV file. So pd.read CSV, and the name of file, that is constituents financials. When I shift enter, I'll get the values. So what we will do, actually there is no time in this, it will be not a good example. for the line plot. So for that, what I will do, let me check some other. Okay, we have exchange trade data. So it is the perfect example. So let me copy and paste it here. Exchange trade data. Okay, now let's perform this. So I'll just remove this for now. If required, we'll use this again. So okay, now let's pd.read csv and exchange trade data CSV. Now we have timestamp and prices. So for that, what I'll do, let's quickly perform some operations on this. So what I'll do, and from the column I want is from 0, 1, 2 to rest. It says, okay, we have to provide the iLock here. Now it's okay. Actually, we have missed the date also we wanted, right? The timestamp. So 0, 1. So we have to use the 1 from 1 to. Okay, now it's fine, I guess. So I'll reassign this to the data frame. And now let's check it. We can do one more thing. We can set the timestamp as the index. So set index and timestamp, and let me make in place is equals to true, right? So yeah, it's done, I guess. Now let me add another cell and let's check the df. Okay, now it's good, I guess. So let's take only 60 rows, right? So 2-1 data. So what I'll do now, I'll take from 0 to 60. I'll use iLock here again. Yeah, for now I'll just use this only. So df. Now we can plot this. So what we can do, I can simply use the price here, right? And how you can plot this, you can simply write plt plot and this series here, and when you hit shift enter, now what happened here, it is plotting for all the tickers, but we need only for a few tickers. And actually I have also seen that this is the synthetic data and it will not give us the good results. For that, I copied a code from the previous session and we will import data from the Yahoo Finance. So let me quickly do that. So instead of this, I'll just remove this code for now and we will import the data from the Yahoo Finance. You can check from my previous sessions, we have used this code. So here, I'll just remove everything. So you will get this data, right? Or you can, for now, you can just take the data for only Apple, right? And it's enough for now. Okay, so we are good to go. So now what we'll do, we'll plot for only, let's say, open. So open, let's run this. So yeah, actually for a simple thing, we had to do a lot of hidden trials. But I wanted to show you the real data, right? So that's why it took a lot of time. So now when we hit shift enter, you will see that we have a real data from the Yahoo Finance. So this is how you can plot. And if you want to remove this stuff, you can simply dot show and it will be gone. Right? Let me remove this. It will be gone. Correct? Now let me tell you a few important things, I would say. So now let's say if you also want to plot the close prices on the same plot. So for that, what you can do, you can simply go here and copy and paste this again, and you just need to give here the close prices, and you will see that you have another plot of the close price, right? Sometime what happens, you want to check the high and low, right, along with the open or close prices. So for that, what I'll do, I'll remove the close and I'll change it to high and hit shift enter, and you will see that we have the high prices, and also we can plot the close prices. Means in a single plot you can have multiple values, but how do we differentiate, right? Now we do not have any information, right, that what is happening here. So for that we have to give few more details, right? Okay, so for that what you can do, you can add another line and you can say title, right? So this is the price of Apple. You can say open, high and low price comparison. It can be anything, just for the sake of example, right? So when you hit shift enter, you will see that you have a title here, and now it is more expressive, correct? You can also mention that what is at the axis and what is at the y-axis. So for that, you have to write plot dot x label, and here you can give, let's say, time, right? And when you hit shift enter, you will see a time here. And similarly, you can also give here on the y-axis, it is the prices. So just copy and paste here and change from time to price. And here it is the y label. So now time, price, and the title, correct? So I'll just copy and paste it here. This was for the label title. Now you can also change the color. If you not like the color, now let's say you want to change color of any line here. So let me first remove any one line here because it is becoming so confusing. So I'll just remove the close and we'll keep only two lines here. Now it's fine. Let's say you want to change the color of the open line. So for that, what you will do, you will write color is equals to green, and when you shift enter, you will see that the line for the open prices is now green. Similarly, for the high also you can change, and let me copy and paste it here again, and let's make it red, right? So red. So now the line for the high price is become the red line. Again, if you want any other color, you can give here the hex code, and you can find the hex code from the web, right? And let me show you how. You can just search on Google hex code finder, and let me show you on the screen. You can take anything here, let's say this W3 schools, and here you want any color. So let's say you want this blue color. So for blue color, you have this hex code. Just copy and paste in your code here. So let's say for open, we have this hex code. So when we shift enter, it says it is not valid because you have to add a hash here, and now it's fine, right? So that's how you can use the color. And okay, now let's say you want to change the line style. So for that, what you can do, you can simply go here and write line style, and you can give here, let's say dashed. So you will see that actually we have mistyped here, line style, not style. So now you can see that we have the open prices as the dash line, right? Similarly, you can also have dotted style also. Like you have multiple things here. So for that, so now you can see that we have the dotted line for the high prices. So you can go through the documentation and you can find more options. There are multiple options. I'm just showing you very few, right? Now let's say you want to change the line width. So for now, I'll just make it default. So I'll just remove, or let's paste it here in this code here, and I'll remove this line style from here. Okay, now let's say you want to change the line width also, right? So for that also you have the option here. So line width, and you can give any value, let's say 3. You will see that the line of the open prices is, the width is increased, right? And similarly, you can give here also, if you want, you can give here the width, let's say 1, and it will be also changed to 1, right? So actually, until this timestamp, my mic goes away, so it might possible that there might little bit less sound. We'll try to enhance this, but still there might be a voice problem before this. Now it will be fine, don't worry. Okay, now if you want to change the legends or the marker here, we can do that also. So for that, I'll again copy it and paste it here, and for now I'll remove this from here, this also, and let's say you want the marker as D, right, for the open prices, and you will see that it has changed to D, right? You can change it to like something different also. Let's say a big O. Big O is not here. You have to type a small o, I guess. Yeah, small o is there, and like D is for the diamond. Okay, and here you can type the marker, let's say, so for the high you can have a marker as, let's say, a diamond, right? And you will see that it has changed. And also you can change the marker size. So you can go here and you can write marker size, and you can reduce it to, let's say, 3, and here also you can reduce it, let's say, to 1. So it will change to smaller size, right? So you have many options here, use as per your requirements. You can also display the legends. So let me show you. You have the option plot.legend, and when you shift enter, you will see that it is here in the right. So here, like, we do not have the multiple values, so if I want it here, data dot index, and here also data dot index. Now you have also the option to display the legends here. So for that, what you can do, you can simply go here and you can write label, and it is for the open prices, right? So you will write open, and this is for the high prices. So you will write label as the high prices, correct? And now you can simply hit shift enter and you will not see anything for now. But if you write here plot.legend, you will see that you have a legend here. So it will show you that for the open, it is the blue line, and for the high, it is the red line with the marker. For the high, we have diamond, and for the open, we have the small dot, right? You can also change the location of this legend. You can move it anywhere on the upper right, on the lower right, or on the bottom left. So it's up to you. You have the options. You can give here the parameters you want. Let's say if you want it somewhere else. So what you will do, you will write LOC, location is, let's say, upper right. And when you shift enter, you will see that it has changed to upper right, right? You can even have like lower right, and it will come to lower right. So it's up to you. It's your requirement. Okay, next we have is the limiting axis. So let's say if you have a very large value, an outlier in any axis, so it will like flatten out all the other values, all the smaller values. So let me show you how. Let's say you have the price and it's going like simple 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, right? And here you can give, let's say, time. So time is, let's say, in the first month, second month, third month, fourth month, and fifth month. So it's simple. You can like quickly plot this plt dot plot, and you can give first time and then the prices. So you will get a simple straight line. So actually you can reverse this also. Let's say 50, 10, 20, and 10 again, or let's say 40 again. And here also you can give few more values, 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, and 9, right? So now you have double bottom, right? So what I'll do, in the 10th month, what happened? The price spiked, right? Someone pumped the prices. So what happened here? The price went up from 50 to 5,000 in the 10th month, right? So now you can see that the remaining prices are all flattened out. So we cannot see anything here. So in that case, what you can do, you have the option to limit this. So what you will do, you'll go here and write plt dot first x limit. So if in x limit you have anything, then you can limit. But for now, we only have the y limit. So in y limit, you can limit it to, let's say, from 50 to 150, right? So from 50 to 150. So now what will happen? No, actually not from 50. You have to limit it from 10 to 150. So now what will happen? It will trim above 150. So at least your graph will not be flattened out and you will have the good values, right? Similarly, you can do it for the time also, or it can be any other value also, right? So let's say it shoot from 10 to 1000. So what happened? It is gone completely, right? Okay, actually we have to add another value here. Let's say 500. So now what is happening? So in the time also, it went from 0 to 1000. So you can also limit this. So you can limit this with the help of x limit, and you can give, let's say, 1 to 15. So now your x-axis will go up to only 15. So this is how you can limit the x and y-axis, right? You have option of the grid also. Let me show you how. So let's copy and paste the above example again here, and I'll remove this. And let's say you want to have a grid. So for that, you can simply write grid and you will get the grid. You can see here, right? So it might require some time, right? And also the last one is show. So show, I have shown you already that it is mainly for when you are programming in any IDE like Python charm or any other script you are writing. So for that, you have to write this show, otherwise it will not work. The chart will not be displayed on the screen, right? So let me show you this again also. Let's hit shift enter. Now it's all good. But if you remove this show, you will see that nothing is there, because let's remove all these things from here, and you will see that you have some strings here, right? So in order to remove this, you just have to type plot.show and it will be removed. So this is how you can use the show. And yeah, that is for the day, and we'll cover the rest in the next session. And until then, bye bye, take care, have a nice day.